watch fucking Ghoulies 2.
Date night.
Oh, I did.
Date night.
Good fucking,
Date night.
not even at a drive-thru.
This motherfucker comes.
Not a, god damn. Thank you for listening to Tales from the Video Store. Make sure you make our podcast date night.
Fuck. Hey down there, podcaster. Hey, you want to get on this? I see you down there, old timer. Well, hey now. God damn. Spend some money down. You want to get your chips ready? Hey, podcaster, you in on this? Oh yeah, baby. Yeah.
I want 6,000 Art 6.
Art 6. Ooh. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and give you a chance to change your mind, old podcaster. There we go. Podcaster, can I buy you a drink? Hey, podcaster, you gonna meet me at the bar? Hey, podcaster, old time podcaster.
Welcome to another great episode of Tales from the Video Store. Now, if you'd like me to drill in your backyard, simply call 828-485-7777. That is Plainview Drilling, and we are sponsoring Tales from the Video Store today. Let's welcome Lee Bridges, Doug Wall, and Garrick Lane. They're all bastards in a basket. Just bastards in a basket.
That was pretty good.
True words have not been spoken on this podcast.
Well, I figured we were doing P.T. Anderson, so I could bring back my plain view for at least one more episode.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
How we doing, guys?
Awesome.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, well, we got some great news. We've been off for a week and a half. I've been at the beach, but some crazy shit has happened. Nicolas Cage has a new movie called Pig.
Yep.
What in the hell is that all about?
I mean, he's a guy who finds truffles for a living, and somebody kidnaps his truffle-finding pig, and then he goes to find it.
So it's like John Wick, only it's Nick Cage.
I guess. I mean, the trailer is just basically dialogue. There's no real action to speak of. But, I mean, it looks interesting. It looks like 90s Nick Cage when he would just do small, interesting movies.
Yeah.
We just need to write some obscure movie for Nicolas Cage and see if we can get it in front of him.
Now you're
Right.
fucking thinking. That's how you do it.
I haven't seen Willy Wonka and the Toyland Factory Murders.
I don't think anybody saw it, but that's
I
okay.
saw it. I watched it.
Did you watch it? Are you serious? You
it's
have not
okay.
reviewed that movie?
Huh?
There is no dialogue in that movie, right?
No, he has other characters. He doesn't have dialogue.
Okay.
He says nothing in the movie.
You say it's okay?
It's okay. I mean, you can tell it's a one-location movie. I mean, it's,
Is it better than The Phantom Thread?
What's that?
Is it better than The Phantom Thread?
No.
What? Oh, wow, all right. Well, then I don't need to see it.
I rented it on Redbox. I didn't want my $2 back. I'll never watch it again.
Okay, well, golly, man, I was looking so forward to that. Why'd you have to ruin that? You haven't even reviewed that. We've done. When did you watch it?
That's how I forgot about it.
That's how fucking bad it was.
I was going to say, I have not remembered that movie. I would have remembered if somebody watched and reviewed it, and he hasn't, and that's because he forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, it made very little impression on me.
Wow, and that's Nick Cage, man, doing Nick Cage.
And I mean, like, he's good in the movie, except the fact that he never speaks. And he doesn't really even interact with the other actors. Because when crazy shit's happening in the background, he just is oblivious to it and goes, because they hire him to clean the sort of Chuck E. Cheese restaurant.
And then the Chuck E. Cheese guys come to life and start killing shit.
And then he'll beat one to death, but then he cleans it up, puts it in the dumpster, and just goes back to cleaning the restaurant.
Oh, cool.
Like, it doesn't bother him. Like, like most people, that would be like, oh, an animatronic Chuck E. Cheese just tried to murder me. He doesn't care. It's a very strange movie.
Maybe it's not his first Chuck E. Cheese.
There you go.
I'm damn sure not the first time somebody's tried to kill him.
Yeah, that's very true. That's probably. But most of those are probably ex-wives, so.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I was referring to. Well, Willy Wonka and the Chuck E. Cheese murders, or whatever that movie was, it won't compare to the new Soderbergh movie that comes out on HBO Max July 1st. What do you think?
Which looks very good.
I mean, is there a movie that we don't like from Soderbergh? I mean, Ocean's 13 was the weakest of the three, and I still loved it.
Well, I would say Ocean's 12 is the weakest.
Oh, fuck you. No way, man. Ocean's 12 was fantastic.
The Fox.
The Fox, dude. Yes.
Yeah, that show's good, dude. I guess.
I don't know.
The freeze frames, the way he did it, okay, whatever. But it's still good. So, I think that this is going to be good.
I don't dislike it. I saw a movie I don't like.
I mean, he shot one on an iPhone, and I actually watched it, and it was pretty good. And he shot it on an iPhone. I don't know. I have not watched that Meryl Streep one yet. I need to.
What is it?
My favorite is The Limey. That's my favorite of his movie.
Which one?
The Limey.
The Limey.
Oh, yeah. I love Contagion. That was fantastic, too. I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know. It's got Don Cheadle in. It's got a lot of people in. It's a heist movie. I mean, it's right up his alley.
Yeah. It looks good.
He probably cut it on his iPad. He's probably shooting on the Red and having it satellited to his iPad. And he's cutting it on the John. You know how he does.
Unsane. Yeah. That's what it is. I watched maybe a year before last.
The pharmaceutical movie.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
Well, it's fine. You didn't miss anything.
But you like that one, the Antonio Banderas one.
The Laundromat?
Yeah.
Was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. And Aaron Brockovich was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I even like Solaris, even though some of it was kind of...
It's fun.
Yeah. So, I'm excited. I can't wait. A couple of weeks, we'll get a new Soderbergh movie. Now, he did some sort of deal, didn't he? Aren't we going to get a couple more from him, from HBO Max? Didn't they do an overall deal?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man, that's exciting.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which makes me, every time I get that $16 a month freaking charge from HBO Max, I'm like, and then I see something else I like, and I'm like, all right.
Fuck, I
tell you what, man. I got Paramount Plus. I've watched it for 3 weeks, and I hate it. It's going to be the first one that I actually think that I'm just going to ditch.
Yeah, I did the free trial, but I didn't go back after that.
The only good thing about it is the Jackie Chan movies from Miramax, the Miramax stuff.
That's true.
That's it. That's the only good thing about it. And, why should we support Harvey Weinstein anyway? So, just get rid of it.
I saw his ex-wife was out with Adrian Brody.
Oh, yeah? Were they carrying around big bags of money? Did she have the Santa Claus bag of his money on the back going, I got it all?
I'll say this. She was quite attractive.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's an idiot.
Fucking Weinstein, you son of a bitch.
Dumb shit. All right, well, and I know I'm excited about this. The Witcher Season 2 trailer has dropped. Yes.
What the fuck is The Witcher?
The Witcher, man, with my man crush, Henry Cavill. Superman.
Isn't that based on a video game?
No, it's actually based on a story that was then made into a video game, which is now made into a Netflix thing.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you say so.
Doug's voice.
It's good. It's better than hobbits walking up a hill.
Is it?
Well, I mean, that's true.
'Cause-
But I think being in a medically induced coma would be better than watching The Hobbit.
all right.
But
Well,
that's just me.
and then the last piece of news I have, and this really probably isn't news, but we're talking about Paul Thomas Anderson, his new movie Soggy Bottom, finished shooting. It's going to get the winter, it's going to get the Oscar treatment, get, open in November. But here's a nice tidbit information if you didn't know. The star of this movie, besides Bradley Cooper, is Cooper Hoffman, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. He cast Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was in all his movies. He cast his son to lead this movie, and I think that's maybe the coolest thing I've heard. And it's very interesting and awesome to carry on Philip Seymour Hoffman's legacy with PT.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I also read an article that Fiona Apple actually quit cocaine after doing a bunch of cocaine with her toxic boyfriend at the time, P.T. Anderson and Quentin Tarantino. So she said that he was an absolute monster, which I probably can gather. He probably
I don't
is.
know. I'm gonna go with PT on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can see him being pretty. She said that they were doing coke at Quentin Tarantino's house, and they had done one too many lines, and the next thing you know, PT and Quentin were just trading their accolades, and it made her want to quit cocaine.
Where did he just? What the fuck's an accolade?
Changing talking about their achievements.
They're accolades. They're accolades.
What did I say?
I'm not sure. It's
So
the
they're
gift that
saying
keeps on giving on this show is listening to you fucking murder words, and I love it. So please continue. Sorry.
No, anyway, I just thought that was funny. She's like, I actually quit cocaine after doing it with Quentin Tarantino and P.T. Anderson one night.
They were too they were too pretentious for even Fiona Apple. Amazing. How amazing.
Yeah, that's
If there's
true.
anybody on earth who doesn't need cocaine, it's Quentin Tarantino.
It's Quentin Tarantino, and it's probably P.T. Anderson too. But you
That's
know,
true.
you knew after Boogie Nights, if that guy, he'd had his share of late nights.
But her story is they got coked up and talked about movies all night. It's not like they got coked up and threw out a window.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they'd probably sit around. Oh, dude, check this out, man. I got this guy, man, and his name is Cutter, and he lives in the woods. And, wait, I got this other thing, man. It's like, dude, it's this dude, man, and he gets caught up at a meth lab, and it blows up, man, and it turns him into this monster, man. What do you think? Give me another one. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so.
I love that.
Did I get up? Look at Lee's asleep. He's like, I don't.
No, I'm not asleep. I'm listening.
All right, well, let's get into it today. It is coked up P.T. Anderson. I'm sure he was coked up during the Sundance Institute times where he was able to write and direct Hard Eight, our movie.
Absolutely. He might have been.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
that's
He was,
his personal
he was like 23? Of course he was. If he was doing lines with Quentin Tarantino 6 years later, I'm sure he was getting high at the Sundance Institute with Robert Redford. All right, well, who wants to introduce it? You want to introduce it, Lee? You usually do the...
No, this is good. I mean, since it's a P.T. Anderson movie, you should introduce it.
I should introduce it? And he's calling Philip Baker Hall old-timer, and I hate old people. It's a great movie. I thoroughly... I loved it. Not Phantom Thread. There Will Be Blood loved it, but I did love it.
Yeah, it's great. It really doesn't seem like a first-time director.
No.
It's a very slick movie. But yeah, it's one of my favorites of his because it's the type it's one of those movies I watch where I would never watch Phantom Thread and think I would like to make that movie. I would never, but Hard Eight is the type of movie I would love to make.
Yeah, agreed.
Very simple, it's a very simple story. It's driven by the performances and the script, it's And when you do find out, you know, when the cat's out of the bag, you're like, oh, now it totally makes sense. You know, it just kind of makes sense that, because you wonder why the whole time. Like, why did he pick this guy?
Well,
why is he still?
See, that's what I didn't like about it. I liked the first time that I saw this, and you know, it just seems like a story about a dude that just sees somebody that needs some help, and he befriends them, and they kind of become friends, and he ends up not only helping him just that day, but helping him, you know, to kind of become like to come back to the world a little bit. And
so you don't like the twist, Doug?
I don't hate it, but to me the movie, once that happens, it is a completely different movie, and I don't like the tone of the movie after that, but up until that point it's fucking spot on, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But from that point it's like everything, and I get it, it's like everything you thought you knew about everybody is different, but really, I mean, John C. Reilly is just a fucking idiot. Gwyneth Paltrow is just terrible. You knew Samuel Jackson was a scum-sucking son of a bitch as soon as you saw him. You know, the only dude in this movie that really has any kind of, like, honor is Philip Baker Hall's character.
Yeah.
But there's a reason that he's like the way that he is.
Right.
Because he, too, has done some bad shit, apparently.
Yes.
So... And that opening sequence, to me, just that from the moment the movie starts, when he gets out of the car and walks up to that diner, that is my fucking favorite scene of the whole fucking movie. That first 5 minutes told me, like, I'm not really sure this P.T. Anderson dude is, but man, I like the way he fucking is doing. Like, I just like the way he works the camera, I like the way, you know, he has those close-up shots, like, a lot of, like, those quick fucking change movements, and it's something that you see not only in this, but you see it in several of his movies that come after that, and then he gets away from it. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Right. Yeah. But my favorite is a few minutes after that when he goes to Vegas and he's showing him how to work it.
Yeah.
Like after the diner scene when he's showing him how to make money in Vegas. It's so well done. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and for that long, it could like 2 minutes after that, it could have become a heist movie. It could have become anything. You really don't know because, like you said, Doug, this guy who's this very smooth guy gets out and helps this kind of douchey guy sitting outside of a diner.
Yeah.
You know, and the movie could have become anything. But then, you know, I don't mind the twist. It's not like, you know, it doesn't really change the movie for me. But I mean, I could definitely see what you're saying, Doug. That it would, had it just been a random guy that he was just trying to help out just for the sake of being nice, it would have been a different type of movie. But yeah, I see your point.
Well, and when I watched this back in the 90s, I thought the twist was excellent, and it kind of made it for me. I was like, oh man, that's cool. Rewatching it though now, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
It just kind of gave me a different feeling, but.
Oh, I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah. And not necessarily like a super negative. It was just like, man, I think it would have been a really interesting way, if that whole thing didn't exist, and to have John C. Reilly's character like turn on him for some other reason and fuck him over. I think that would have been neat. But
right.
Whatever.
And I think we agree that Gwyneth Paltrow is one of the least likable characters in movie history.
Oh, I hate her, man.
Yeah, she really is in that movie.
Yeah.
I think she's like that in most movies.
I have a question about her
when
that I was thinking about.
When she starts seizing in the floor in Contagion, I'm actually laughing inside.
So I wonder if after this movie, because you see PTA, he generally likes to use a lot of the same guys. I was curious. I wonder if Gwyneth Paltrow was offered the role of Roller Girl and maybe turned it down.
I don't know.
Huh.
We'll find out.
She could have. I'm glad she didn't take it.
I'm super glad she didn't take it, but I could so see.
Yeah.
Her being approached by him to maybe play that role.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad she didn't take it. That would not. Yeah.
That would have been no good.
I mean, she's someone I've never cared for as an actress.
No, I don't.
Now, not Renee Zellweger level, but you know.
Yeah. She's on the downslope, if you will.
Yeah.
And that whole hostage scenario when they're in the hotel room it's just like, I think it just made me hate her even more. You know, I hated her character, but then you're just like, oh, but it's Paltrow. Oh, God damn.
When she's talking about, like, she needs the money, like, the guy still hasn't paid her. When, like, Philip Baker Hall, he's trying to make the whole situation just go away.
Yeah, it's all about her because she gave her precious sniz away to some fucking jerk-off and didn't get paid the $200 or whatever she thinks it's worth, and that's, like, worth going to fucking prison over.
Right.
Get off your high horse, prostitute. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really is. She is a nightmare in the movie.
But she doesn't. She doesn't sink the movie or anything. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she's not terrible in it.
Oh, no.
She's just a very hateable character from an actress that I don't fucking like. So it makes it easier to hate.
So in a sense, she does a really good job.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. And if she was standing here, she would probably say, "Well, that's the point. You really want to bash my brains in because that's the character."
If she was here, I would say, "Please get the fuck out."
Yeah.
Take your Coldplay and your vagina products and get the fuck out.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I think who's the man in the movie is Philip Baker Hall.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's so cool in this movie.
Yeah.
You know. It's a shame he didn't become a well-known actor to this movie because, you see him on, like, before this, you would see him, like, on an episode of Seinfeld or something. He was just a character actor, and, but he's the man in this movie.
Well, and he went on, he even had a big role in...
Magnolia.
Yeah, Magnolia.
He's fantastic in fucking Magnolia. I mean, almost like the same cool... He's just a cool fucking dude.
Boogie Nights, he was the...
He's in it.
Yeah, he's in that.
The Colonel.
Yeah, he's the Colonel. So I guess he hasn't been around very. I guess he got in late on it.
Yeah. He was from what I've read, the reason why he's cast him in this is because he plays a character named Sidney in Midnight Run.
And Sidney was originally supposed to be the name of this movie.
Right, see, exactly. And PTN saw that movie and just loved Philip Baker Hall in Midnight Run.
He's got a look.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, actors don't look like that anymore.
Mm-mm.
Well, when you're smoking 6 packs of cigarettes.
He reminds me of Baby's dad from Dirty Dancing.
That's exactly what Bonnie said.
They could be fucking brothers. It's in the eyes and like that. They look like they're from the 1930s. Like, they just have this look of like, yeah, I'm a fucking police officer. I'm about to come in here and do whatever. Right? Like, he just has that fucking intimidating look.
Sort of like, this is not an insult. They both kind of look like basset hounds.
Yeah.
Like Philip Baker Hall looks like a suave basset hound. I know that's the only way I can describe him.
But the coolest fucking basset hound you've ever seen.
Yeah,
for
sure.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And he's been around. He's been doing bit parts for a long time. But I think.
Oh yeah.
Did a lot of TV. But his later years, like once P.T. Anderson brought him out on Hard 80, he's on Miami Vice. He's in Midnight Run, like you said. Just small bits, say anything, just bit parts. And it wasn't until P.T. Anderson came that he's really, gave him the...
Oh yeah.
Gave him the leads, man. So, yeah, I like that guy a whole lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And this was the first time that I can remember seeing John C. Reilly. It's the first time I can remember seeing Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm sure they were in some other things, maybe some smaller things.
Dead Poets Society was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Right.
The only thing I remember John C. Reilly in before this was Days of Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
I get if you say so. I haven't seen it.
Oh, I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Of course you fucking do. But after this, they became like staples.
Oh yeah.
For the next several years in movies that Anderson made. And I love both of them, man. They're great.
Yeah.
This is a must-see.
If you love BTA and you've somehow never seen this, you've got to. It's an absolute must-watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Favorite PT? Oh, we've already talked about this, haven't we?
What?
Favorite PT movie?
I don't know.
You don't know what yours is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Mine's Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights is pretty good.
It's 100% my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, question, because we've talked about this before, and I thought about this when I watched Boogie Nights because it's one of the movies that I'll rewatch. What's the better cast? True Romance or Boogie Nights?
True Romance.
Is it?
Boogie Nights is pretty close.
But just by a hair.
I mean, it's fucking close, dude. I mean, I'm talking, you can go 10 deep with both of them, you know, in fucking badass actors. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
The soundtrack of fucking Boogie Nights and in comparison with the soundtrack of fucking True Romance, they're very similar. They're both fucking fantastic.
William H. Macy, man, that scene is just, yeah, you're right. I don't know, man.
So Little Bill, okay, that scene, when I was watching it, is it him doing like an homage to Goodfellas? Is it the Copa scene, but done a little bit differently? And maybe better.
Maybe.
It's kind of that same one shot, you know, like 4 or 5 or however
and he goes
long
back and
minutes.
sees his wife, and yeah.
Yeah. I just immediately thought of that when I was watching. I was like, oh man, it's like the fucking Copa scene, dude.
But the bat, man, that scene, like that quick smirk you get from Little Bill's character before it's so incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
He just kind of has that look, and he kind of smiles, but it's not a real smile. Like it's crazy, man.
Question, Garrett.
Crazy.
Talking about Boogie Nights, question.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds is as good in this as Daniel Day-Lewis is in Phantom Thread. Who says no? Who says fucking no?
I think Burt Reynolds is as good in Boogie Nights as Daniel Day-Lewis is in Phantom Thread.
Okay. Burt Reynolds is, and it's weird how much he hated the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, because he's so good in it. You know, he's basically, he's Deliverance good in it. Like, those few movies where he wasn't being Burt Reynolds, in those movies he's actually acting, you know.
Which is the funny part about this, because he's trying to make porn movies that people want, you know, it's real movies.
Right.
And he is really acting and standing up with all these great actors in this movie for the first time in a long time.
In decades.
Right, and I got the same feel, like, you know, he's fucking killing it. He's perfect for that fucking role. Baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
And PT tried to get him for Magnolia, but he just, you know, he said he'd never want to work with him again.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe Burt saw through P.T. Anderson's pretentious shit.
He was like, God damn, there's more cocaine on this set than there ever was on all the Smokey and the Bandits combined. I can't handle this shit. I have to get the fuck out of here. I mean, who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
Do you think that's what it was, Gary? Or do you think it was like we were talking about him and Tarantino? Do you think it was his sort of 90s indie movie, 20-something genius that rubbed Burt Reynolds the wrong way?
Probably.
Because Burt Reynolds used to work on like stunt guys who became directors and stuff like that. You know, like when they weren't shooting the movie, they probably weren't talking about the movie. They were probably talking about their wife or a ball game or something. Mm-hmm. But P.T. Anderson's probably just obsessive moviness and just his, like you said, pretentiousness probably did. I could see that rubbing Burt the wrong way.
Sure.
You know.
Oh, yeah, I could see it. I could see him being young and, okay, we're going to, using his little freaking stupid-ass hands, and talking big cinema and shit.
I can see all that. Burt just going, dude, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, just say action. Shut up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the people of that generation, it was more like a job, you know. And, yeah.
I wonder if there's any documentation of, you know, why, if Burt Reynolds ever came out and was like, this is why I did not like P.T. Anderson.
I'm sure there probably is. You know, because when he got that the Academy Award nomination, I mean, that was huge. You know, because he hadn't been in big movies for quite a while, you know.
He should have won in my...
Who did he lose to? Do we know? Can we remember?
Fuck it. That was 97? 8?
97? I don't know. We'd have to look that up. Let me see. Was that the year... So if that was 90... If it was on the 98 awards, if it was from 97, that was the year Titanic won.
Oh, yeah.
So
well, nobody was winning a fucking thing
Nobody won a thing that year.
Damn it.
yeah. That might have been... I can't... But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he definitely should have won.
It always reminded me of like Bill Murray, you know, getting nominated for Zizou and losing, and I felt like he got fucking robbed, and I felt like Burt Reynolds got robbed in this. Two guys that, you know, they're not, nobody would say, oh man, these are fucking like some of the best actors of all time or anything like that, but they're movie stars, and both of them were fucking brilliant when they needed to be.
Right. Well, I see, that's the thing. Nobody, if you're funny in a movie, it's like Marissa Tomei winning for My Cousin Vinny. It's like nobody respects people who are funny in movies. But here's the thing. To make something funny on camera is fucking incredibly hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you just mention Marissa Tomei?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because, you know, there's a conspiracy theory that she didn't actually win.
Yeah, somebody read it wrong.
That's
Somebody
probably
read
read
the
it
wrong
wrong, which
name.
I think is bullshit.
Oh, she was amazing and is amazing. And I'm going to talk about her in a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
I am. Yeah. That's.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, yeah, those people who are those type of actors, they're seen as less than, you know, sort of Oscar-bait dramatic acting.
Yeah, and I don't like that. That's why those award shows don't really mean anything to me.
No.
Because it's not about the performance like it should be. It's about who it is and what they've done prior.
Yeah, exactly.
And it shouldn't have anything to do with anything like that.
Right.
Burt Reynolds went on to say, and this totally matches Fiona Apple talking about PT on
Damn
Coke.
it!
Yes, I'm telling you. Yeah. The feud between Paul Thomas Anderson and Burt Reynolds has been discussed before. Burt Reynolds says that P.T. Anderson was full of himself on the set of Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure he was. I mean, he just made this movie we're talking about, Hard Eight, and then was given the chance to make this huge, you know.
Which was something he's worked on. I mean, he made a movie called, like a small production called Dirk Diggler in '88. He'd been trying to make this movie for well over a decade. So, if he was an asshole and he wanted it to be the way he wanted it, so fucking be it, because to me, it's his best fucking work.
Yeah.
I love this fucking movie, dude. Is that it on Burt?
I'm just making sure they're...
No, okay.
Yeah. But when it starts to get cocaine glossy, this is the set. This is the shoot. And hangovers, there's all that. There's blood, and the fun of it all was wearing off. It was the middle of the summer. It was really hot. We were all stuck together in that house for a long time, and things were just, they were heated.
Yeah.
So I could see P.T. Anderson being young, do just like we did on Badass Killers. Well, you don't drink, but freaking going out after we shoot, man, and doing some freaking blow and drinking a couple of liquor shots and then going back on the set and then shooting for 16 hours and then going and partying, and Burt Reynolds is going home and he's tired of shooting for 16 hours and he's just ready to go home. He's not doing blow anymore. And it just goes.
So in this scenario, you're comparing Lee to Burt Reynolds. Well done, Lee.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Yes. Lee is
That's a first, isn't it? Awesome. Get that Burt Reynolds fucking.
Lee is Burt Reynolds to
Hell
Garrick's P.T. Anderson.
All right. On Badass Killers.
Yeah. But here's the weird thing. Garrick wasn't even supposed to direct the movie. He was just supposed to shoot it. It just ended up with him directing it.
Oh, I'm like, step aside, man. Jesus.
Because you were PT, you were like, get the fuck out of the way, asshole. I got this.
Well, it would have never got finished.
Because I was, quote, full of myself.
There you go.
Remember the freaking sty from the sweat that I...
Dude, your eye, you look like Stallone at the end of Rocky 2. Like your eye was swollen shut.
That was a fucking disaster. And that movie's never come out. And Boogie Nights got Academy Awards. See? Fucking, what the fuck are they complaining about? Damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, alright, well, let's move on. Hey, I'll start since we're still in the mix. These are the movies I watched this week. Well, I watched Boogie Nights, which we just pretty much discussed.
I think we just went through it.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece, and it is my favorite P.T. Anderson. Although I would watch There Would Be Blood more than I would watch Boogie. I think Boogie Nights is exhausting to watch. It's just a lot, and where There Will Be Blood is more like Phantom Thread. Like Boogie Nights feels like a Quentin Tarantino movie, and then There Will Be Blood feels like a Scorsese movie. It's two totally different things.
Well, that's one thing that I wanted to mention. After Punch Drunk Love, all right, so you've got The Hard Eight, you've got Boogie Nights, you've got Magnolia, and then you've got
Punch Drunk.
All of those movies, visually, and the way they're shot, everything about them feels very familiar. Like he certainly had like a style.
Yeah.
After that,
after the cocaine and Fiona Apple, right
after
Punch
that,
Drunk Love.
after that, and when he came out,
he got sober.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but they are completely different looking and feeling movies that somehow are still brilliant, although they're done in a much more, I would say, and I know it's kind of a weird word, a more mature
they are the
style.
opera of cinema. They are shot in 235 Panavision. You know what I mean?
Like if I showed you There Will Be Blood and I showed you The Hard Eight and I told you they were the same director, you would. Nothing about those two movies.
Boogie Nights. You showed Boogie Nights
what I'm
and
saying.
The Phantom Thread. You would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's really
But
odd.
if you showed Magnolia and Boogie Nights, you'd be like, "Oh, that's the same dude."
But it's so odd for one director.
Yeah.
God damn that fly. To start off with a certain style and be brilliant at it, and then to switch to something else and
it's more mature. I think
and still be brilliant at it. I mean, he's still. It's not that like these other movies, these later movies, are not entertaining or anything.
Right.
Damn it.
Did you kill it anyway?
Yes.
Did you at least kill it?
Yes.
You broke my fucking shades.
Damn it.
Anyway, yes, and maybe you're probably right. Like he probably just matured. He probably, he had this movie he wanted to write and he's like, hey, I'm going to do this a different way.
Well, Punch Drunk Love is probably the silliest.
You didn't kill it.
Is probably kind of the silliest. Wouldn't you say? And just kind of like the weirdest.
It's my least favorite.
But to go from that to There Will Be Blood, my God.
It's true.
I tell you what I think it is early in his career, I know he was always compared a lot to Robert Altman. And Robert Altman's last movie, Robert Altman's health was so poor, the insurance company had P.T. Anderson, he just basically stood there and watched Robert Altman direct the movie. Because they said the studio and the insurance company said if Altman drops dead, we can have P.T. Anderson finish the movie and nobody will notice. He was the pitch hit director on Altman's last movie because he was dying, basically. And I don't know, this is just my own theory, that when that happened, he was like, holy shit, am I that predictable?
Yeah.
And after Punch Drunk Love, he probably switched it up where he didn't want people to have any idea what he was going to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because I mean, he even uses, like in Punch Drunk Love, he even uses, songs from the from Altman's Popeye movie soundtrack. So they were definitely like, there was definitely similarities between them, those first few movies. But then, like you said, he just leaned more into the sort of Scorsese Age of Innocence, super artistic after that.
But not...
And it's paid off, though.
Not in a pretentious way.
Yeah, that's paid off.
I mean, The Master.
The Blood's probably, in my mind, probably the best movie of the 21st century.
It's tough to beat, man.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's tough to beat. It's tough to beat. Well, and the other movie, while I'm talking about it, is The Master, which is his probably least known gem.
Oh, my God.
I freaking love it. I mean, I love it. And it's Philip Seymour Hoffman's probably his best role.
It's his fifth collaboration.
You pig fuck!
With PTA, and it was, in my mind, his last great role. He's not L. Ron Hubbard, but he is L. Ron Hubbard, and
Right.
he is fucking...
You're making this shit up as you go!
It's just... Man, he's so fucking hypnotic in it, dude.
He really is.
And Joaquin...
Seize the day.
Joaquin's great.
Scoundrel.
He's
Oh, yeah.
fucking great, dude.
It's the opposite. Complete
Hell,
opposite.
it might be one of his fucking best roles, man. He's amazing in that movie. I forgot how fucking good he was in that movie. But that was another one that I sat down and watched as well.
So let me get this straight. You watched Boogie Nights and The Master, and I watched Boogie Nights and The Master. We just cut 20 minutes off the fucking show.
We could have just hung out and knocked it out, but instead we watched it separately.
Hey, let me ask you something, Doug.
Yes.
Would you like some formal processing?
Yes, hell yes.
Would you like some formal processing?
More than
All right,
anything.
so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I want you not to blank. You ready? Are you a putz?
Putz?
Have you ever had sex with a man?
No.
You blinked. We start over.
You got me.
You don't remember that?
Oh, yeah. It's just, like I say, it's
Why
so,
did you have sex with your aunt? Because I wanted to.
it's so fucking hypnotic and crazy. And, this whole time, especially the last couple of years of this Scientology kind of crumbling because the facade of it all has been lifted.
Yeah.
This is from the early days. You wonder how something like that could get from the 1950s to modern times, and that's exactly what fucking L. Ron Hubbard did. And even if you're not watching it and thinking about that, it's still a good enough movie and a well-made enough movie to entertain, even if you don't give a shit about the Scientology hook. So
Would you like some formal processing?
no. Fuck your processing, motherfucker. Fuck your L. Ron Hubbardisms.
Seize the day. Seize the day.
Yes.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Freddie!
It's an amazing movie. It really is.
You're a scoundrel. What is this amazing concoction? Like, what was he making? Like, he was... the one scene where he's drinking the Lysol. Like, he was drinking... Was he I know he was making... He was not making moonshine back then.
Well...
Was he just mixing chemicals with water and... What was he doing?
In... The Lighthouse.
Yes.
Where they're drinking, like, turpentine.
Yeah.
He's, like, taking some turpentine and, like, adding some other things to it and making these concoctions. And that's probably not the best. I mean,
yeah.
It's like bathtub gin, if you will.
Yeah.
It's like, what prison liquor.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, yeah. Oh yeah. I can imagine
And I
it
guess
not being
maybe
good for your intestines.
Yeah, I guess maybe it had some kind of euphoric effect of something he put in it he was like, yes, bring me more of that.
Didn't he filter it through like old phone books or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like, it looks like you could like clean the bottom of a boat with it or drink it.
Nothing you'd ever want to drink.
Right.
No.
But you saw the effect.
Yeah.
And you saw the effect in the Lighthouse when they were on the turpentine.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Not so good.
Yeah.
Definitely not so good. Okay, and so the last thing I watched, and we were discussed last week, I watched all 3 of the Hanzo the Razor trilogy.
Wow.
So we normally discuss, let me just disclaim this, we normally discuss alternative movies, independent movies, some blockbusters. We're not really into Japanese bondage porn. However,
Apparently you are, because
what the fuck is that? How can a movie look so good? I mean, all right, let me just tell you guys this. Anybody that likes Japanese samurai movies, there's a little bit of fighting in it. However, it is it's what's his name? And I can't think of his name. I just lost it. The guy from Lone Wolf and Cub. Basically, at the beginning of the movie, smashes is training his cock to be huge, and he goes around raping and interrogating women. And what he ends up doing is having sex with them, or he rapes them, and then halfway through, he stops having sex with them.
starts asking them questions.
And that tortures them because they want to finish. Now, the weirdest part of this movie isn't how they treat the women. It isn't. I mean, it's god awful in every way. But the first sex scene is a 3-cross dissolve of a vaginal canal getting pummeled, his face sweating and her face sweating, and they're going in and out. And I was watching that, I'm like, is this a movie? What is happening here? Why is this on HBO Max?
You were like, is this a samurai movie or a porno? And I just replied, yes.
I really, after that scene, I wanted to get my credit card out and pay somebody. It is not Lone Wolf and Cub. I think it's worth a look. I think if you like those movies, I think if you like old samurai movies, you should, and you have HBO Max, you should definitely search Hanzo the Razor.
And glorifying rape doesn't bother you, right?
You shouldn't just be able to access them. You should have to like put in your birth date or something. I don't know, something, because I saw the movies years ago.
How old were you, 12?
When I first got HBO Max, I was going through it just alphabetically through all the movies, and it literally went Green Lantern cartoon, Hanzo the Razor, and I was just like, yeah, that shouldn't be there. That should be like, you know, I don't know. You should have to like, I don't know, put some code in or something.
Yeah, it's pretty graphic. When he takes his thing off and you can see his like prosthetic sticking out, I'm like, what is this? What the fuck is this? And they've got,
and the movies get weirder as they go on.
Oh, I mean, there's one scene where they put a girl up in the net, right? And he's spinning her on his cock. But now, okay, see, in America they would just show that as it's going down, and you'd hear her scream, and they'd cut. Now these motherfuckers, they set on that. They put on some good 70s Boogie Nights music, and they just let you spin. And every now and then his helpers would be bouncing him up and down. I'm like, this is as graphic as it gets. I've never seen anything like this. I'm almost.
And then 30 seconds after that, ninjas break in and try to kill him.
Yeah. Yes. Who wrote this shit?
I don't know. It's just they're the weirdest movies, because like it's not really a porno, and it's not really a martial arts movie. It's like it's just a very 70s Japanese movie. And it like you said, Garrick, it has like a Isaac Hayes Shaft-esque soundtrack.
Yeah. And it's got...
One of my favorite parts is in the opening where the floor is like a giant topographical map of Japan, and he's just walking across it.
Yeah.
And like the funk music's playing. It's just ridiculous.
It really is. It really is. The rape and pillage, I mean... It's borderline. I'm surprised in this day and age that HBO Max keeps it up there. Maybe they forgot it's in there.
Well, I think because they control a certain amount of content from the Criterion collection.
Yeah.
And I think they probably just got it in a bundle with the Lone Wolf and Cub movies. And maybe they just hey, 70 samurai movies. People love that. And they just threw them up there, but like I said, like I first mentioned to you via text, make sure your children are not home.
Yes.
Because that would be a rough explanation if your wife walked in and you were watching that.
Yeah.
Especially the spinning net.
Yeah. And he's spinning her, and they're sweating, and it's like, okay, this is 5 minutes of this. I only needed
30 seconds. Yeah.
Hell, I didn't even need that. I need 30 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an acquired taste. But yes, Hanzo the Razor, Sword of Justice.
What year did it come out?
Hanzo
71?
the Razor, the Snare.
72? 74?
72. The Snare is the worst of the three.
Fuck, it's almost 50 years old, man.
Yeah. That guy had some fun. I mean, that guy is my hero. He's Lone Wolf.
Well, his brother was Zatoichi, the blind swordsman.
Ah, that explains it.
And, apparently they were hell on wheels in the 70s in, like, Tokyo. Those two guys.
Well, I would have been too. I was Lone Wolf and Cub and Hanzo.
Yeah.
He got whatever he wanted. He could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for me, man. I've said my piece for the week.
Okay.
What'd you
Well, I'll
say?
just go real quick because I just had a few things. I rewatched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and L.A. Confidential.
Oh, both classics.
And Bonnie said she wanted to watch a movie that took place in the 50s, and L.A. Confidential was on like one of the streaming channels I have, so I didn't have to get out of the bed to turn it on because I'm very lazy. And they're just, they're both, I love them both. And Doug, I watched the first 3 episodes of Mr. In Between Season 3.
And yes.
Oh, dude, I loved it.
It got right back into it. I mean...
It did.
The
prison episode was very well done.
Yeah. The 5th episode, which was the one from last week, is one of the best episodes I've ever seen of the show.
Nice. I've only seen the first 3. I can't wait to...
Yeah, the 5th one, I finished it, and I was just like, man, that's why it is what it is. It's a special fucking show, dude. Anybody that's not in on this, man, and you're really fucking up because it's one of the best things on television right now that nobody's fucking watching.
Yeah.
And they've elongated the episodes. I guess they're an hour long now. Where initially they were only like 30-minute episodes the first season.
Maybe they got some extra money.
Well, they definitely got some extra money.
That's great. I got to get into that, man. Wait, that's on. Where's that at?
Hulu.
Yeah, it's on FX. I mean.
Yeah, FX on streaming it's on Hulu, but on TV it's on FX.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
that's all I want.
That's one I've been waiting, just waiting for time to watch it.
Yeah,
did you see anything?
I did watch one other thing.
Oh yeah.
That, I've been. Last week I was talking about all these fucking wrestling shows I've been watching. So I was flipping around. I don't remember what I was on, but I saw The Wrestler was on. Darren Aronofsky's. I guess it's a. Is it one of his better movies?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It doesn't compare to me to like
Requiem. There's nothing that compares.
But I'm saying just stylistically, the look and the feel and just like it would be hard for me to say just by watching them that they were done by the same director. There's no
right.
They're very, very different. This is it's fucking sad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fucking sad, dude. It reminded me, and I'm glad that he's gotten out of it and he seems to be doing okay. But you remember about 10 years ago or so, Jake the Snake Roberts was just a fucking disaster, and
oh yeah,
all the bad shit that he had been through, and Mickey Rourke in this as what was his name? Something the Ram. Randy the Ram. Yeah. I mean, he's just so fucking good in it, just so fucking good. But not my favorite part of this movie. My favorite part of this movie is sweet Marissa Tomei.
I forgot she's in that.
Because I fucking love her, and
she's like your Rosie Perez, my Rosie Perez. You like Marissa's.
I've been in love with her for fucking 40 years, dude. I fucking love her. So watching this, and I'm all into it. I'm like, yeah, man. And I totally forgot about her striptease, like, on a pole in this club where she is full on dancing, and her glorious boobies come out, and I got to see that, and I had to pause. I only paused it and rewound it like 3 or 4 times.
Got a screenshot.
I mean, as sad as this fucking movie is, seeing that made me feel a whole lot better.
You'd like to put her in a net and do a little Hanzo, huh?
The Hanzo Net? Is that...
Hanzo Net.
The old Hanzo Net?
Marissa Tomei and Rosie Perez get the Hanzo Net. There we go.
And I did put on, I didn't really watch it. I did put on The Big Lebowski. You were talking about it last week. I saw it was on. Really just because I wanted to see Philip Seymour Hoffman, you know, because I fucking love the guy. I miss him.
I miss him completely.
And, yeah, that's probably one of his most, like, I guess... I don't know, it's not... He wasn't bad in it or anything, but it's like he didn't really need to do anything. He just was in that.
Yeah.
Goddamn cocksucking flies.
Anyway, it's just one. But he's still good in it.
Oh, he's great. He's great, but the movie itself, I mean, it still holds up, man. I mean, and I guess it always will.
It always will. Just like all the P.T. Andersons and most of the Aronofskys will hold up. There's The Fountain, there's Noah. There's a couple that, you know.
Mother.
I liked
Noah. I forgot Noah even existed.
Yeah,
Till just now.
It's
There
putrid.
you go.
Well, they can't all be winners. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Unless you're P.T. Anderson.
Yep, unless you're P.T. Anderson. Yeah. Well, next week, guys, we're going to do Bad Taste, Peter Jackson. Definitely.
Are we fucking really doing Bad Taste?
I was going to say,
Is this
definitely
actually
a
happening?
completely different
I love it.
first-time director movie.
This is going to be amazing.
I think so.
I have not seen this movie
Yeah.
30
now,
years.
this is an actual, like, you know, I should probably talk about this next week, but I'll just say it very quickly now. You know, P.T. Anderson went and got funding to make Hard Eight.
Right.
Peter Jackson made Hard Eight, made Bad Taste with his bare hands and like his 4 of his friends. You know, it's a first-time movie from a guy who just made the movie himself.
Yeah.
So,
Like, he made the camera equipment, he made, you know, the sets, you know, the special effects, you know. So it's a completely different type of movie than the first 2 we've watched in this block.
Oh, it is. Completely different.
Completely different, and you're going to get completely different results. Hey, Lee.
Probably.
Lee, would you like some formal processing?
I would not. No, thank you.
Doug, when we get done, would you like some formal processing?
Absolutely.
Great. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll have Bad Taste. Try to not blink when I ask you these 5 questions. Are you ready for some formal processing? Say your name. Garrick Lane. Say your name. Garrick Lane. Say it again. Garrick Lane. Do you linger at movie theaters for pleasure? No? Do the failures of your past films bother you? Yes. Do you often think about Ghoulies 2 on date night? Yes! Have you ever had intercourse while listening to the podcast? No, it makes me want to fall asleep. Which movie is better? There Will Be Blood or Boogie Nights? Boogie Nights. Infringement, infringement, infringement. Ah! Ah! Are you unpredictable? That's the end of the application.